Hello, welcome to Cosmic Love Tarot. Okay, before I start, which I didn't know that I was going to be doing a reading today, because over the last few days I've been having a lot of messages by my spirit guides, but it also represents me as a feminine, also as a mother. It's my son's anniversary on Wednesday, which is the anniversary of his death. So prior up until the day on the 6th of May, I normally really go within and work with the energy that I'm being given. And it could be that I'm working on the physical aspects as the mother, or it could be the divine feminine within me that I'm working through and connecting in with my spirit guides, as well as with my son's soul essence of my own personal journey. Okay, so today it's been quite interesting, really. So 4 days I think it's been that I've been on this kind of intense healing journey of discovering something else that I needed to look into. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, I want to work with the divine feminine. I also want to work with the divine art, and then we're going to see what comes out. I'm also going to use where it's to do with the moon. I know I'm slightly late with this new full moon. It's a Taurus full moon in Scorpio, so the Scorpio elements to it is very much working through and releasing anything that is unnecessary to hold onto in the shadow self. So yeah, so I feel the Scorpio energies is very heightened right now for a lot of us, and you may be experiencing a lot of flashbacks to your own past experiences, and also maybe struggling sleeping. I can never sleep with the full moon. I always seem to get loads of downloads and inspirations from it. So no sitching already, and I'm not putting the josh stick. So okay, let's clear the energy anyway. So I ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Metron, clear away any negative energy and bring in positive love, light and protection for us all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, just prior to me turning this on, I was working with the Lemurian crystal. Okay. And I was getting a lot of information from this, and this is why I was really called to doing a reading. Now, I was not going to do my cards, and I got these cards out ready anyway on April the 30th, and I was just going to just stare into the crystal and give a reading from that. So anyway, last minute now I've decided to do the reading from the cards that I originally was going to do. So maybe that will come out in the next reading. I feel that the energies are so I'm being reminded about okay, a dream. I had a dream. This is for the collective, because it was not me. It's not my dream. I was the observer in this dream. Okay, because this will also represent the Scorpio full moon energies, and it's for the feminine energy. So in this dream, I was following this woman. I don't know who this woman was at all. I was following this woman. I just felt that I was in a big, massive, stately home with big, massive corridors. It was all oak, wood, walls, ceiling and floors. And I was following her down this massive corridor. And we were heading towards this big, massive doorway. We walked through this door and we turned and walked through another corridor. So as I'm following her, we were just constantly walking through these different corridors, through different doorways and different corridors. This might mean something to you, that you are searching for something, you are looking for something, because that's the energy I was picking up. It's like just going, walking, going somewhere, got a purpose to go somewhere, a meaningful purpose to go somewhere, but I didn't know what it was or where we were going. I noticed in her right hand she was holding something, but I couldn't see what it was. It was something she was holding on to as she was walking down these corridors. When we come to the last corridor, she then turned right. When we turned right, there was another corridor in front. We walked through this corridor, and then I became her eyes. And what I could see then through her eyes, I saw a wooden staircase, and this staircase was leading down into the basement. And these wooden steps were quite worn away. They were strong, they were solid, but they was worn, really well worn steps. And it felt like they were once even painted, and the paint had also worn away. You could see just specks of old paint in the corners of these steps going down, leading down. These steps went down and they turned, and as they was just about to turn, I looked across in this basement, and in this basement was a big fridge, and the fridge door opened up all by itself. Then I was outside of this person, and then I was looking in at her as she noticed the fridge door opening up. Behind her was another girl. I didn't know who these women were. There was now two women. The first woman turned around to the second woman and said, "Did you just see that?" The second woman said, "Yes, I did." They carried on walking down. Now I'm observing. So I was either, I've missed out, the character of that person or the observer of that person. Okay. And it felt as if there was a spirit, or a spirit. Somebody had opened up the fridge door. Now I know in a dream, a fridge would represent something that we preserve, something that we hold on to. It felt very much like this suppressed emotion, this emotion. We're holding on, we're preserving this emotion that we're holding on to. This is for the Divine Feminines. As we then was in the basement floor, on the basement floor, right ahead, this side, the fridge was there, but on this side, two more women walked through the doorway and walked towards us. Right in between us was a big oak kitchen table. The two women sat on this side of the table. The two that came through sat on that side of the table, and the fridge is there. These two women said to the two women that just walked in, "Did you see what just happened? The door to the fridge just opened up." The two women in front said, "Yes, we know." Then all of a sudden, those two women became one woman, and she started crying. And I woke up. And I thought, that's quite strange. What does that mean? And I'm connecting in with the feminine. I'm connecting in with the mother because of where I'm at as well. It can also represent me, of course, because I'm part of the collective. But if this feels somehow resonating with your emotions, this reading will be for you. Because what I was feeling, it's something that's deep-seated, a deep-seated wound that needs to be healed. That's what the fridge was representing. Your spirit guides is helping you to access it, to look at it. Okay, I've got a map right in front of me, and I can't help but keep on looking back at. Why am I saying looking back? Because I'm not looking back at it. It's right in front of me. Antarctica. Why did I say looking back? Because in front of me is Antarctica, and I'm staring at that as I'm talking. Okay, Antarctica. It's that hidden wall, something that's hidden. But something like a spirit guide or family members in spirit wants you to access this suppressed emotion. The basement in a dream will represent the base of the self, which is to do with the inner shadow, the unconscious, the inner shadow that needs to be accessed. Something needs to be accessed for it to be released. Okay, that's the energy that I'm picking up. So let's go with the heart. I don't know what that's called actually. The Art Oracle. Okay, let's see if the energies for the feminine, for the collective, what needs to be seen, what needs to be seen for the feminine energy, the mother. I also picked up May the 1st, where it was all to do with Beltane. Is it Beltane? May the 1st. Okay, that's where I was going to do the reading, which is the full moon. And I didn't do it because I will pull away when I need to work with energy. And my energy is also connected with my son, that's in spirit. So yeah, so I was getting a lot of energies where it's to do with the goddess. I was picking up a lot the goddess and what it represents. The goddess is of number 3, and it's to do with the maiden, the feminine, the feminine and the crone. Okay, reminded me very much of a book that I read once many years ago, and it was called The Endless Maiden and the Fisher King. And the Endless Maiden was all about I can't, which is quite interesting. I can't do that. It's when you believe you're not able to do something, but through your own trials and tribulations you learn that you can. Okay, I don't know why I needed to say that, but anyway, that's what came up. Okay, one more. So it's about I can, not I can't, but I can. Okay, so for the feminine, with the full moon in Taurus, Scorpio energy. Okay, for the art, for the collective. The grieving art. Open doors to something new. This will go with the dream. Okay. Or finding something. It feels like a very precious gift to find something that's been locked in the subconscious. I said subconscious. I was going to say unconscious, but it's the subconscious. Something that's hidden in the subconscious. The dream was showing me about the basement, which is the base of the lower chakras. Belief, a belief system, that something needs to be accessed for the feminine energy, the mother, the maiden, the mother and the crone. Okay, I'm going to read from the book there, and it's in number 13. I went straight to it. Okay, this is what your heart is telling you. Okay. Dear grieving art, I know that you feel disorientated and confused. Losing those that we love and are close to is always difficult, and you may be experiencing fear, hurt, apprehension about the future. Your sense of self may have diminished to you have had thoughts such as, I don't know who I am, and I no longer know what I love, what I care about, or what makes me sing. You might feel numb or anxious and not even to participate in everyday life. Dear Art, it is important for you to give yourself time to mourn your loss and heal. You also must gain the wisdom that this difficult experience has brought you. Embrace the opportunity to become more independent. Shrewd, the clear, can feel uncomfortable, but it can offer you incredible growth and self-confidence. Take some time to reflect on what you have truly lost. Is it love? Is it friendship? Understand help or care. Reflect on how this loss can open doors to something new. So whatever you felt as that you lost, and it could be absolutely anything, that emotional loss has been suppressed in the unconscious. It's like frozen in time to stop you from moving forward. It's that fear of trying again, that fear to love again, that fear of putting trust in life again. Okay, when the heart has been broken, it's very difficult to trust. It's very difficult to find faith. And in this dream, she was holding something in her right. I was going to say she was holding something in her right hand. She's holding her heart in her right hand. She's putting in a new heart in her broken heart. The heart of the divine. When I look at it, it's her right hand. So I hope that you're seeing it that way as well. It's the right hand. And I said she had something in her right hand and I couldn't see it because I hadn't took this card out. That's why I couldn't see it. There's the moon at the back. It looks like the dark moon, but I think Scorpio can represent that, because Scorpio can really force your hand to step into what is unseen, what is suppressed, the darker aspects, the monsters, the things that scare us. It's very fear-based, but it's seeing it, looking at it through your own sadness, through your own loss, through your own tears. And the experience that the feminine has gained, it feels it's coming into the divine. It feels Sophia. That's the energy. It feels Sophia that has gained the heart, the unconditional love of self through the loss. And with that unconditional love of self, it completes the soul journey. And now it's stepping into the divine of the divine feminine. And I'm going to read that from the book. Okay. Let's go with the energies first with the moon. With the full moon in Taurus, but it's the energies of the Scorpio energy. The Scorpio energy also represents ending and new beginnings. I am feeling for, it could go either way. Okay, it depends where you are. I was going to say North Node, but it can swing either way. That Wheel of Fortunes can go up or it can go down. It can go north or it can go south, depending on what you've learned on your Wheel of Fortune. Okay, I'm picking up. This is for the feminines that's done the work, but something else needed to be seen. It's like a final release. A final release of what once was, a final release of the past. Okay, so for the collective, Believe in the impossible. We got the blue moon. Is it the blue moon at the end of May? I'm sure it's the blue moon. I'm sure it is. There's 2 moons in 2 full moons in May. And I think the last one is the blue moon. What's that song of the blue moon? Blue moon, I saw you standing alone. Da, 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 da. Do you know what it reminds me of as well? That film of, was it The Werewolf in London? And it was a bit of a comedy in a roundabout way. Actually, it was quite funny, but yeah, the werewolf. And they walked over, was it the Scottish Moors, I think, where these 2 American guys got bit by the werewolf. I can't remember the full story, but anyway, the song that kept coming out in that film was Blue Moon. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone with all my dreams of my own. Do, 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 do. Okay. Confidence is your key to success. It's knowing who you are. Because I feel this is either the crone, divine feminine, the crone, the wise old crone, the divine Sophia. Confidence is the key, which is Leo energy. And nothing is yet set in stone. Nothing is yet set in stone. Nothing is solid. Everything is flexible. Nothing is yet set in stone. Bring love into the situation. Bring love in the situation and a time to give rather than take. Show the world the real you. Okay. Let's go for the Divine Feminine now. What does the Divine Feminine want you to know? What does the Divine Feminine want you to know? My cat is scratching at the door again to come in. She can't stand the door closed. She just comes in, have a sniff around and go back out. Okay, last time. What does the Divine Feminine want you to know? What energies are around you right now as you're working through your own feminine aspects of releasing something that needs to be released in the full moon, Taurus with Scorpio energy. Queen Essia. Is it Essia? The morning star. My ego is in service of my soul and I trust my soul's divine timing. Is it Essia? Essia? Estia? Essia? I'm sure somebody will correct me. I'm not quite sure. Let me read up on that. Queen Essia. Essia. Is it Ether? Queen Ether? Where are you? Got it. 146. Okay, don't need to read all of it. Let's just get to the soul message. The ego as a timetable that the soul couldn't care less about. When we are feeling stressed or threatened in some way, fear can be exceptionally loud and can inform the ego to work overtime in trying to get something accomplished or to manipulate something to happen. The natural flow of energy that's always at work behind the scenes, the universe capacity to assist us, then gets blocked. When we are in service of love, we are flowing the dedicates of our soul. And when the ego is in service of the soul, the divine timing ensures. Esther, sorry, I know I'm not pronouncing it right, mastered this art, even under extreme duress. She listened wisely to her soul. She became a queen by letting her love for her people inform her the feminine intuitive powers. This is her interpretative trust that everything is aligning in the divine timing. Trust your soul voice. So she started to listen wisely to her own soul. By listening to her own soul calling, she connected into the unconditional acceptance, but also the unconditional love of self. I feel the divine feminine energy is placing the divine art, the spark within. Okay. Now for the soul journey. The soul journey now. It's like moving out of the basement. Letting go. Letting go. It's not letting go of your loved ones that's passed. It's just understanding that we're all soul beings at the end of the day. It's not about the physical. It's about the connection, the love, the bond, the connection. It's about releasing. Releasing what binds you into the physical matrix. This is about the spiritual essence of the divine feminine. We're all here to learn and grow. Free of attachments. This is what you're learning on your soul journey. Free of attachments. Looks like the moon at the back. Very much solar plex energy I'm picking up from here. To invite true love into your life. Releasing, letting go. It really feels more of the energies of the divine feminine, the sensual, the sexual, the power of what you hold within yourself. You're comfortable with who you are. You don't need to be recognised by anybody else. You don't need to, what's that word? You don't need to get any clarification from anybody outside of you of who you are, because you know who you are. You're the divine feminine. Very powerful in your own right. Embrace. You embrace whatever comes your way. Feels like mastering your own divinity after grief, after loss. You're mastering the mother. You're mastering the feminine. You're mastering the crone energy. You're following your calling, attending to your life's purpose. You've come out of the dark and into the light, the divine light. Divine Sophia optimism. You're choosing optimism. You're not choosing the experience that you've gone through. You're choosing to see something bigger than what you thought it was. Understanding it, embracing it. When you look, they're all like portals. Because the Divine Feminine is a portal. The Divine Feminine, Sophia, is about, the Divine Feminine is about the seekers, the silence. The Divine Feminine has been crucified for her power because she is the portal. She is the divine portal, the cosmic portal to life. She gives birth, same as Mother Earth, she gives birth to life. Through your losses in the physical, it doesn't end there, it begins. It begins once you release the attachment to it, or the attachment wounding to it, to embrace the connection, which is the spark, the divine spark. One thing at a time. Focus on a single purpose. So it feels to me that when you are on your own soul path, your own soul journey, everything is all connected. Everything is connected. And you could be working through one particular thing. Look how divine it is inside. Look at the divine. Mirroring who you are. It's a divine being. So you're learning one thing, connecting into the other, understanding what's going on there, but what the divine is asking you to do, just focus on that one thing first. Focus on what you need to understand, to connect in with the divine feminine. Move then on to the next. I feel that you've already done this. You've really connected into your own divinity, but there's a lot more going on here. Some is kind of giving birth, starting to give birth, starting to open up. The others are waiting to be opened up. It's all the gifts that's been given to you by the divine, for the divine feminine. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel that this is to do with the whole, I was going to say shebang. I never say that word. I don't even know what it means. It's like the whole, everything. Everything is all connected in. Everything is all connected in with the divine feminine. And rejoice in love. To breathe in the fragrant breath of life. It could possibly, it could either be a union within yourself or coming into union with somebody else. Again, it feels a portal. They look like they are, the word just came to me, strategizing, talking. Why did I say strategizing? Because it feels like a marriage. When you look at this, it's like a big wedding dress. It's like a union of something. Strategizing. Could be an individual strategy to then reconnect, divinely reconnect. What's that tree? That tree, it looks like a tree. Throughout all of that, you can see a tree. Is that the tree of knowledge, or the tree of hope, or the tree of wisdom? Tree of memory. That tree is symbolic for a reason. I don't know what it is. What is it? Picking up the tree of wisdom. Tree of knowledge. Tree of knowledge. Is that Kabbalah? Kabbalah tree? The Kabbalah tree? The boundless potential. Look for sanctuary within you. Looks like she's coming into birth. But this can also, it feels also like this is your pot. This is you. This is everything about you is in this pot. Under here, it's like the basement of that dream that I had. The basement of everything in the matrix, everything in the 3D, everything, or even ancestrals, everything. Actually, it reminds me also of like fire. It's like burning the witch, isn't it? It reminds me a bit of that. It's like burn the witch. It was about, back then it was about, it's not about the witch, it was about the feminine. Killing the feminine. What was it, 80% of females? But we're coming back in force. We're coming back in force as the divine feminine. And it's about exposing this suppressed masculine energy. And it feels as if you've explored that, you've seen this, you've seen all that suppression of past life, family lineage, you've worked through that, you know, the burning of the witch, it reminds me of that. This also reminds me of like the cauldron. But really that cauldron was all to do with the gifts, the things that the divine feminine holds onto, which is within the self, the solar plex area, everything that you hold on to, everything that you know about the divine feminine, or the feminine, the maiden, the crone, and accessing all the information to then, on to and now, the divine. It feels like the world is at your feet. The world is at your feet. As I looked up at that calendar and I said that, the world is at your feet. It's all about a positive attitude, transformation, transform negative thoughts. So I started off as the basement in the dream, the fridge door opening up, which is all to do with suppressed emotions, holding on, preserving it, preserving those emotions. When you look at the red and the brown, this is all the base and the foundations in life, and embracing to go through the portal, the divine portal, embracing it, lessons learned, understanding who you are. The feminine has been suppressed, ever since day dot. And we've held on to this second best, always making do with the second best, because we were told that we're not worthy of anything more than that. Divine feminines are really coming into their own. It's like this massive awakening. It's like free, feeling free of the matrix, feeling free of the attachments that the matrix makes you hold on to for this false security. Feeling a loss when really there was never a loss. Death, there's no death. There's no loss. But when you hold on to it, it keeps you stuck in the matrix. So freeing the attachment to it, because you're recognising that you are a divine being, the spark, the heart, the source. Underneath the deck, shifting the blame. Accept others for who they are. This is very much the 3D. Look how dark that is. Can you see how she's pointing that finger at you? Whoever's been blaming you for everything that's ever happened in your life. You point a finger, 3 fingers point back. It's when people projecting their own fears onto you. Because you're the divine feminine. This very much really also reminds me of the past lives of the witch, Burn the Witch. It's you, it's you, it's you. No, it's not. You're the one that's evil. 3 fingers pointing back at you. You're the one that's working with the devil in the 3D of fear. And blaming the feminines, the divine feminines, the healers in life. It's the energy I'm picking up. So I just saw another card that's reminded me of something, but I don't need to go there. Okay, where do I need to go? Let's just go here now then. With the energy that's around you right now. It's about releasing the attachment. That's what's really important. Scorpio energies will be helping you to do that. If there's something that you need to look at that belongs to your past, could be a past hurt, past loss, look at it again from a different perspective. See it as it's like an hidden blessing. To be honest, that's just what it's like. That's just what it is. It becomes an hidden blessing. Let me give you an example. When my son died, of course I buried it, I got him buried in the church, but I really, really do wish that I had him cremated, because it's a burden to me to go to the church. I don't know. It's the, yeah. So the anniversaries is different for me than what it is for the birthday celebration of him. So the anniversary is representing the past me, the past illusion, the past belief that's been carried through generation after generation, all belonged in that past. So when I go to the anniversary and put flowers on his grave for the anniversary, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's the physical. It was the physical. It was the physical, my physical son. And that's my mom who will grieve for that. But my spiritual essence is connected with his spiritual essence, because it's the unconditional love of self. And that's where it began. Everything began from that loss. My illusion shattered. It's like when I look at the church, the tower fell. And I started to see the truth. But what I knew back then, and what I know now, which is 26 years on, I really wish I had him cremated, so I don't have to go there and feeling guilty because I don't go often. Because he's not there. He's with me. He's in that very last photo that was in the camera. Hello, treasure. Where else I going with that? Yeah, about letting go of attachments. I think graves keeps you stuck in that mournful mindset. of remembering who your loved one was, without looking at the soul, looking at the spirit, at the soul being still connected to your heart, of the memories. But even above that, the soul connection and what that connection was about. I hope that's making sense. Divine fruit. Divine fruit. As I work to improve and free myself, I strengthen my foundations. My intellect is light, my heart is warmth, and my soul is strength. I am nurtured by the divine sun. The fruit I bear reflects my inner light. The divine fruit. And there is the spark. The divine spark that you are connected to everything. The divine feminine is connected to everything in silence. She doesn't need to explain anything to anybody. She doesn't need to explain anything to anybody of who she is. She has learned to detach. She has learned to let go. Because unconditional love is divine. It has its divine purpose that we are all connected. We are all connected in any way to the divine spark. Courage, vitality, and returning to the heart. I am stronger than fear, bigger than doubt. I am light, I remain light. I trust in God, I stand tall before the test of life. I grow, I become wiser through every challenge. I am being of my new life. Beautiful. Okay, I'll leave that there. I hope that's brought some clarity for the divine feminine. So wherever you're at on your journey of healing, if there's something that you feel that you need to release, that's stuck in that suppressed emotion, the divine is asking you to open up that fridge door and let it out. Let it go. Okay? Yeah, I'll leave that there. So thank you for being here. Thank you for liking and commenting. I really do appreciate it. I will not ask you for a reading, but I am also will be offering readings. I have got an email address on my TikTok and YouTube, and we will chat through my email and make arrangements for a reading, okay? Private reading. So I'll leave that there, and thank you so much for being here. So God bless.